Hello everyone and welcome to Imola in Italy for the 2022 Reykjavík International Games. And there you can see the cars out on track for this qualifying session. Let's talk very briefly then about this track, just under 5 kilometers in length with plenty of elevation changes as well. This track has seen the highs of victory and the lows of tragic motorsports death. No bigger, of course, than Ayrton Senna almost 20 odd years ago.
It's a Variante Villeneuve. Again, big curbs. And they're the kind of curbs that not only damage your car, obviously they're going to ruin your lap as well. They're going to, over the course of a race, you can't afford to abuse them that much because they bite.
At least for now, though, it's all eyes focused on the Reykjavík International Games and 2022's Digital Motorsports Cup. The winner will walk away our champion, but we're ready to race here in Imola. Lights illuminate and we are underway. Behrens gets a good launch, 3 wide back in the pack as cars struggling to get off the line. Lights are flashing already as to the inside, Benediktsson had a look, but Behrens will control the field in towards turn number 1.
Yeah, Joachimsdotter gaining a couple of positions there, up into 4th position in the background, but potentially going to be under a pressure from Alexandra Vicious down into Villeneuve as our race leaders are very close. They're side by side in the background. Essentially, you don't need too many cars to make a good show. And I think Joachimsdotter's run wide. Oh, and there's contact in the background. Just caught that. That was definitely Alexandra Vicious and Haraldson. And a spin as well from Jokelsen. Oh, goodness.
Well, they're going side by side up the hill in towards Piratella. The Ferrari's got the nose inside. Behrens under fire. He'll hold on for now, but he's not going to be allowed to run away with this one. This might be a closer fought fight than we were expecting.
A lot of damage on Alexandra Vicious's car after the contact a bit earlier on. Right rear is scraped up. Haraldson has already towed back to pit lane.
Look how close Benediktsson is keeping this. He'll take the fastest lap of the race, but again, that's not necessarily meaningful. Shows his nose, but Behrens covers him off. This is shaping up to be a rather fascinating fight. Benediktsson, a former Assetto Corsa Competizione driver, he's getting to grips here in iRacing pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's, like I say, jumping platform to platform. Tozer, a little bit defensive from Jakob Behrens, might run a little bit wide, and the second apex is going to be picked up by Benediktsson on the run all the way up the hill towards Piratella. Not really a corner that I would go for me with Piratella. It's a little bit too quick, a little bit too blind, and always the car on the inside is going to wash out.
But Behrens,
attack Minerale, a bit wide from Behrens.
Behrens made a small mistake, got a little bit loose. They're side by side on the entry. A little bit of door banging, but they're keeping it clean. We said you didn't need many cars. You just need 2 to have a good fight. And the inside line goes to the 16 as they come into the chicane.
Yeah, you've got to be wise here, Behrens. You're not really going to hang it out there, and is wise to it. Knows he's got the pace right now, allows Benediktsson to take over the race lead. And we did say, just because that pole time was set by 0.6 of a second in the favour of Jakob Behrens, does not mean this race is going to be an easy one. Already losing it just a couple of laps into this race, Benediktsson at the front.
And he was feeling some pressure, because that was some pretty good driving from the number 16 and Benediktsson to not just keep close, but to be showing the nose at the right place at the right time, because that's the mental warfare of motorsports, be it virtual, be it in the real world. It's about putting the pressure on and trying to make the driver in front of you crack under that pressure.
You just don't, whilst you're sat there in second. For Benediktsson, he saw the pole time that Behrens put up, probably felt a bit desperate, a bit racy to get by. Behrens knows he's got the time in the pocket, so right now can honestly sit in second and just save himself. Not saving fuel, but saving your own mental focus. Oh, a bit of a snap there from Benediktsson, now going on the defence down into Villeneuve, back over, just squeezing a little bit. Behrens now starting to apply pressure himself. There's a big bit of curb though, and Behrens is going to go around the outside potentially.
You'll have to do it the long way around at Tosa, but maybe you can try the up and under. Get the run out of the corner. He's just a bit too far behind at Tosa. You said you can't make a move at Piratella, but he'll look once more, poke himself outside line. Does he concede? He's gonna try and stick it there. Runs a little bit wide, gives him the inside for Aqua Minerale.
Fantastic move all the way around the outside, like you say, to the inside. This was how they did it last time, and this was where he ran just a little bit wide, and once again, copy and paste, a little bit closer this time by Benediktsson, goes for the up and under and picks it up on the exit of Aqua Minerale. That was close to how it was in Aqua Minerale a few laps ago when they went side by side, and Behrens overdid it again. I think if he does it once more, if he gets to the inside of Aqua Minerale, he slows down a little bit more and pulls it right up onto the apex, essentially coming to a stop on the apex at the final part of Aqua Minerale, just to stop the cutback from happening.
But you know what we're seeing here, Lewis?
Good little battle.
Yeah, loving it. Loving it.
This is it. This is what we always say. You don't need a grid of 30. I've commentated on grids of 30 and the racing has been shocking. Whereas when you get a battle like this, they know that eyes are on, they know that we're focused on them, they know that they want to put on a good little battle. It might end in tears, it might end in a great victory.
Don't you say things like that.
It might.
They're just fantastic cars.
There we go, side by side once again. Behrens going around the outside at Tamburello. This is going to be a bit of a brave move to try and send it in there. See how Benediktsson leaves him with the apex. Little bit of side by side, a lot of respect given between the two of them. Desperate not to come to blows. Behrens retakes the race lead, and Benediktsson once again coming back to the outside through Villeneuve, and really is going to send it in, gives him the inside for the next apex. Running out towards Tozer, got to do the work around the outside.
And at least for now, I think signed and sealed, lead back to Behrens. But again, we got 32 more minutes of this. I'm knocking on wood because I know I might be the one now that puts the commentators. Surely this can't continue this frantic, this hectic. This is like a rallycross style of race right now.
Yeah, it's like a bit not elbows out is definitely the wrong way of saying it, but it's a bit desperate. That was very desperate there from Benediktsson to dive in. Absolutely superb, but got to give a lot of respect to Behrens there to see that one coming and to not risk it more so than was required. Benediktsson then straight back into the race lead. But then if you counter that with other touring car categories like British touring cars, like V8 supercars and stuff, these ones, in my opinion, are superior because they are more special, they're more unique, they're more their own thing.
Well, okay, and to kind of give the counterpoint to what you're saying, they got a bit expensive.
Much more expensive. That's why TCR and GT3 are the future and why they're going to stay around for a lot longer.
And I mean, it's even why GT4 became very popular, right? Because even GT3 was getting out of hands for the amateur gentleman driver to come in and do a full season. It was getting somewhat unrealistic, right? So GT4's been getting popular, but guess what happens? Manufacturers go and try and boost their profiles there and their programs there. GT4 gets expensive. Now that GT3 is going to be the main sports car frame of reference, it'll be interesting to see just how far it gets developed. Of course, with GTD Pro in America, Behrens trying to hang it around the long way around, but all that's going to happen there is disaster if he gets squeezed into those anti-cut curves. And once more, he has to back out.
Good cheeky little attempt there just to give it a go, just to see, but still, eyes on the prize, focused on the race, focused on surviving right now, and not trying to do anything too silly around Benediktsson right now. Maybe just trying to force a mistake, but mistakes, to be honest, between these two, if I'm going to give you a drive which I'm seeing more mistakes out of, it is out of Behrens. A little bit wide there at Tozer. Obviously the mistakes that allow Benediktsson to get through. Looks a little bit faster, for starters. I'd say that Behrens does definitely look faster between the two, but does seem a little bit less in control of the car, potentially as a byproduct of that speed.
I feel like he's driving at 99%, whereas we're seeing Benediktsson at 100, but a calm 100. Behrens is at 99, but just not in that same zen mode right now. As did look as though Benediktsson got a little bit loose coming through Aqua Minerale, but gathered up that car, got it pointed back in a straight line, and nicely off the corner as well. I posed this question to everyone, Lewis, but
oh no.
Here comes another look to the outside from Behrens, who's almost in the grass. Really gets hung out to dry, and just this is the type of racing you see in the real world, where both drivers know they can't afford to make contact. It's not always what we expect to see in sim racing, but this is fantastic.
That was a big send around the outside from Jakob Behrens. Now Benediktsson, who's been desperate before, is desperate again. Dives straight on the inside, locks up a little bit. Behrens reads that one perfectly.
Incredible.
That was superb from Behrens, just to see it, just to spot that lockup and not try and force. Already getting a sorry between the two of them in game, by the way. So clearly they're both, understanding what this battle's about. It's about a bit of respect between two people. Little bit over the line there from Benediktsson, and Itzy just like, yep, that was on me. Carry on.
That's great. This is a showcase of what sim racing is really about.
Sense, it's something that we miss because we don't really have that in sim racing, and so people don't necessarily respect each other. Whereas quite clearly this battle, whether they've known each other for 100 years or whether they've just met each other on track for the first time, I wouldn't know. But if there is one thing which is obvious straight away, is there is respect between the two.
Maybe even dirt racing, like the ovals here in America, where there's been some rather unsightly and unseemly moments, especially in recent memories as well. But it's passion. That's what we love about racing, is that passion and that want to be on top and that want to have live race control. I should point that out as well. They've been called into action once, although it's not really a decision that has changed the standings here. We have stewards that have real FIA stewards in the booth as well, so always great to get that level of participation and adjudication as well. I mean, race control is the most thankless job in motorsports, be it virtual or real. Gap is starting to build up. Behrens has got the jitters out from under him. He's now 1 second clear of Benediktsson.
Yeah, like I say, I was just about to pick up on the fact that Behrens was starting to light this up a little bit, starting to make a bit of a gap.
Yes.
24 hours of Spa, and heard. Oh, I'm hearing a bit of a slide from someone having a bit of a.
Oh, it's Benediktsson. Benediktson's off.
There we go.
There we go. Day done.
Did hear it come through the back of shot. There you go. It's ballooned. See, I told you.
Yeah. No, and I think he was just. Does he have damage on the left side of the car as well?
Yeah, there is damage, yeah.
Yeah. One more.
Where would that have been, though?
That's what I was...
curb.
Ah, yes, it is very easy. And you can see that. That is definitely some damage to the right front. And, well, as soon as you touch the grass, grass might as well just be ice in this track condition, in the state of the track and where we are. Means 3 minutes on the clock. Behrens walks away. And what a battle it was, Lewis. I mean, regardless of the fact that Behrens won, Benediktsson, those first 20, 30 minutes, some incredible battling.
I've got to say, I think Benediktsson overdrove it a lot, which, honestly, from my point of view, is a huge shout-out that in 45 minutes to have overdriven it that much and to have still only had one major mistake over the race. I think that is impressive.
Well, there we go. It is the final lap, and the Reykjavík International Games Digital Motorsports Champion for 2022 will be Jakob Behrens. It was a fantastic fight between him and Benediktsson, but ultimately Behrens' pace proved to be just that little bit too much. And again, you only need two cars to put on a show, and a show we had indeed.
Yeah, and it also takes two to tango. I think that's the big thing. It does take two to tango. You can't just have a good race by yourself. It does require other people, and that is exactly what we got. And more sort of respect between these two on the cool-down lap. I hope we see more of this style of battling in sim racing. Just again, the respect between the two of them. You only tend to see it though in more lower formula and stuff. Once there starts being big prizes and stuff up for grabs, everyone starts elbowing each other off the track. So it's good to see two drivers with that respect.
Yeah, no, I think you're right as well. It's something that sim racing as a whole really could benefit from, is that little bit of more respect being shown between the various competitors. Here's a quick look then at those race results. Behrens from Benediktsson and Jokkelsen